What if I told you that 1 tablespoon of a cheap grocery store liquid, taken right before bed, could stabilize your blood sugar, kill your late-night cravings, improve your digestion, and help you wake up feeling lighter? Sounds too good to be true, right? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this works, and the science backs it up. Now, you've probably seen 100 videos and articles claiming apple cider vinegar is some kind of miracle drink. It cures everything, it fixes everything, and honestly, I don't blame you if you're skeptical, because most of those claims don't bother explaining why it works. They just tell you to drink it and trust the process. That's not what we do on this channel. See, this channel exists to stand in the gap where your doctor has 15 minutes with you and no time to explain the why behind anything. We break it down. No jargon, no charge. Just information you can actually use. So, let me start by clearing up the biggest misconception. Apple cider vinegar is not a vitamin. It's not a probiotic. It's not some exotic superfood. At its core, the active ingredient is acetic acid. That's it. A short-chain fatty acid produced during fermentation. And that one compound, acetic acid, is responsible for almost every benefit we're about to discuss. Once you understand what acetic acid actually does inside your body, everything else clicks. So, let's get into it. And real quick, if you're someone who cares about understanding your health and not just following trends blindly, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. You're already here. You're already learning. Let's keep this going together. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up in the morning, checked your blood sugar, or just felt off, and thought, how is my blood sugar high? I didn't even eat anything sugary last night. Sound familiar? Here's what's happening. While you sleep, your liver releases stored glucose into your bloodstream. It's called the dawn phenomenon. Your body does this naturally to prepare you for the morning. But if your cells are insulin resistant, meaning they're not responding well to insulin, that glucose just sits in your blood with nowhere to go. You wake up with elevated numbers, feeling groggy, even though you did everything right. Now here's where apple cider vinegar comes in. A study published in Diabetes Care, a peer-reviewed journal from the American Diabetes Association, found that consuming just 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before bed reduced fasting blood sugar levels by up to 4 to 6% by morning. The researchers hypothesized that acetic acid slows down the rate at which your liver dumps glucose overnight. Think of it like a dimmer switch. Instead of your liver flooding your system, it releases glucose slowly and steadily. And a 2004 randomized controlled trial out of Arizona State University confirmed that vinegar improved insulin sensitivity by up to 34% in insulin-resistant subjects after a high-carb meal. 34% from vinegar. Now, why does this matter for sleep? Because blood sugar crashes and spikes at night are one of the most common reasons people wake up between 2 and 4 a.m. Your body panics, releases cortisol and adrenaline, and suddenly you're wide awake, staring at the ceiling. Stable blood sugar means uninterrupted sleep, and that leads us directly to the next benefit. If this is making sense so far, tap that like button. It helps more people find this information. When your blood sugar stays level through the night, your cortisol stays low. When cortisol stays low, your body can actually stay in deep, restorative sleep, the kind where your muscles repair, your brain clears out waste, and you wake up feeling like a human being. There's also something else going on. Apple cider vinegar contains small amounts of potassium and magnesium. Now, these aren't huge doses. We'll talk about mineral absorption in a minute, but they support the nervous system's ability to relax. You know that feeling when you're exhausted, but you're somehow too wired to sleep. That's often a magnesium issue. Your muscles are tense. Your brain won't shut off. The World Health Organization has noted that magnesium deficiency affects a significant portion of the global population, and it's directly linked to sleep disturbances. Apple cider vinegar doesn't replace a magnesium supplement, but it does something arguably more important. It helps your body absorb the magnesium you're already getting from food. We'll come back to that. But first, if your sleep is being disrupted not by blood sugar, but by your stomach, listen closely. Here's a scenario. You eat dinner. 2 hours later, you're lying in bed, and you feel this heavy bloated pressure in your stomach. Maybe some acid creeping up. So, what do most people do? They reach for an antacid, Tums, Pepto, maybe a proton pump inhibitor. But here's the thing, most people get completely wrong. In many cases, heartburn and acid reflux aren't caused by too much stomach acid. They're caused by too little. When your stomach doesn't produce enough hydrochloric acid, food sits there longer than it should. It ferments, gas builds up, pressure pushes the acid you do have upward into your esophagus. That's your reflux. So, what does an antacid do? It reduces acid even further. You're solving the symptom while making the root problem worse. Apple cider vinegar works in the opposite direction. The acetic acid gently supports your stomach's acidity, helping it break down food more efficiently. A 2018 narrative review in BMC Gastroenterology explored how low-acid environments contribute to bacterial overgrowth and digestive discomfort, exactly the kind of problem vinegar can help address. Better digestion before bed means less bloating, less reflux, and guess what? Better sleep. Your body isn't spending all night fighting to process a meal. It can focus on recovery. That's a win. If you've been dealing with this, drop a comment below. I want to hear from you. Now, I mentioned this earlier, and here's where it gets really interesting. Acetic acid improves your body's ability to absorb minerals, specifically calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, and potassium. This has been demonstrated in animal and in vitro studies where acetic acid increased the solubility and bioavailability of these minerals from food. Think about it like this. Imagine you're eating a salad full of nutrient-rich vegetables, but your body can only absorb 60% of what's in there. The acetic acid in apple cider vinegar essentially helps unlock more of that nutrition. You're not eating more. You're getting more from what you already eat. Now, why does this connect to sleep? Because two of those minerals, magnesium and calcium, are directly involved in muscle relaxation and nervous system regulation. And when you're deficient in those, something very specific starts happening at night. Ever get a Charlie horse at 2 in the morning? That sudden, brutal cramp in your calf that jolts you awake and leaves you limping the next day? That's often a sign of electrolyte imbalance, specifically low potassium, magnesium, or calcium. In severe cases, doctors call it tetany, which is just a clinical term for involuntary muscle contractions caused by mineral deficiency. By improving mineral absorption, apple cider vinegar helps your muscles maintain the electrolyte balance they need to stay relaxed through the night. No cramps, no jolting awake, just sleep. The National Institutes of Health have documented the role of magnesium and potassium in neuromuscular function extensively. This isn't fringe science. This is well-established physiology. And here's what I always tell people. Aging is about maintenance, not treatment. You don't wait until the cramps are unbearable to address them. You maintain your mineral balance now, while it's easy and inexpensive. Subscribe if that makes sense to you. Let's keep building this knowledge together. All right, be honest with me. How many of you open the fridge at 10 p.m., even though you're not really hungry? You're just looking. You want something. You can't quite name it. That urge is often driven by unstable blood sugar and insulin signaling. When your blood sugar dips, your brain sends hunger signals, even if your stomach is full. A randomized controlled trial published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2005 found that acetic acid increased satiety, the feeling of being full, and reduced overall caloric intake throughout the day. Participants who consumed vinegar with a meal reported feeling significantly more satisfied and consumed fewer calories in the hours following. Now apply that to nighttime. You take your apple cider vinegar after dinner, your blood sugar stays stable, your brain doesn't send a false alarm, and you go to bed without raiding the pantry, which connects directly to something bigger. Here's the mechanism that most weight loss advice ignores. It's not just about calories, it's about insulin. When insulin is elevated, your body is in storage mode. It's packing away fat. It cannot burn fat efficiently when insulin is high. It's physiologically locked out. A notable 2009 Japanese study, a randomized double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in Bioscience, Biotechnology, and Biochemistry, followed 175 subjects over 12 weeks. The group consuming 1 to 2 tablespoons of vinegar daily lost significantly more body weight and visceral fat compared to the placebo group. The researchers attributed this directly to acetic acid's effect on fat metabolism genes and insulin modulation. Compare that to conventional approaches where patients on insulin therapy often gain weight because the medication drives glucose into cells and promotes fat storage. Apple cider vinegar works with your body's systems, not against them. Lower insulin at night means your body can actually access stored fat while you sleep. You're essentially turning sleep into a more efficient fat-burning window. Your liver does its heaviest detox work at night, roughly between 1 and 3 a.m., according to chronobiology research. Acetic acid supports this process by stimulating bile production and release. Bile is how your body processes and eliminates fats, cholesterol, and waste. Think of bile like dish soap for your insides. Without enough of it, fats don't get broken down properly. They accumulate. Your liver gets sluggish. The Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry has published research showing that acetic acid supports hepatic lipid metabolism. In simpler terms, it helps your liver process fat more efficiently. So, while you're sleeping, your liver is working better. You wake up feeling lighter and less congested. And here's one most people have never heard. Your body can actually use acetic acid as a fuel source. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has explored how short-chain fatty acids, including acetate, are metabolized by muscle and brain tissue as an energy substrate, an alternative to glucose. This means when you take apple cider vinegar, you're giving your body a slow, clean-burning fuel source that doesn't spike insulin and doesn't require glucose. It's like switching from cheap gasoline to a cleaner alternative. Your engine runs smoother. At night, this matters because your body has a steady, gentle fuel source that supports all those repair processes without triggering blood sugar disruptions. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Just tonight. One night, take 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind with a mother. Mix it in a glass of water. If you don't love the taste, squeeze in some lemon or add a drop of stevia. Use a straw to protect your tooth enamel. Drink it after dinner, about 30 minutes to an hour before bed. Then tomorrow morning, come back here and drop a comment. Tell me how you slept. Tell me how your stomach felt. Tell me if you woke up at 2 a.m. or slept straight through. I read every single comment. This is your health. Nobody is going to manage it for you. Not your doctor, not the pharmaceutical companies, you. And the best part, this costs almost nothing. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one, where we keep breaking down the science so you can take control of your health for good.